oil palm is an important plantation crop in Malaysia. Oil palm plantations cover about 5 million hectares of the country, which is about 15% of the total land area in Malaysia. Malaysia has been the largest exporter of palm oil in the world. The oil palm tree is harvested during replanting, based on a cycle of about 25 years. As a result, a renewable plantation resource is made available as raw material input for the timber processing industry, the oil palm trunk or OPT. The Malaysian Timber Industry Board or MTIB is a statutory body under the Ministry of Plantation Industries and Commodities established since 1973. It is responsible to oversee the strategic development of the timber industry in Malaysia on a sustainable basis. While palm plywood has been produced in West Malaysia and sold to some segment of the domestic market, as an industry, it is still at an early stage of development. At the present time, MTIB is spearheading a palm plywood project with a program of technical initiatives to drive the industry forward. The OPT as a plantation species is a renewable, sustainable and environmentally friendly material for the plywood industry. It can also be utilized as a substitute for hardwood logs in a variety of situations. The potential of OPT as raw material for the plywood industry is expected to help reinvent the industry. The process of producing plywood using OPT is similar to and not different from producing plywood using hardwood logs or softwood logs. The main processes include veneering, drying, lamination and finishing, as can be seen in this short presentation. At the factory, the OPT is cross-cut to the required length. Then after, it is debarked and rounded up. The cylindrical block is then peeled into veneers and clipped to the required width. The wet OPT veneers are then dried at the veneer dryer. The next process is lamination of veneers into panels. Firstly, the dried veneers are applied with thermosetting adhesive in a cross-ply layup. Then, the laid-up veneers are transferred to the cold press to ensure that the adhesive is evenly spread. Finally, the pre-formed panels are fed into the hot press to complete the lamination process under preset conditions of high pressure and high temperature. The palm plywood panel is then etched trimmed to the required size and then sanded for a smooth surface finish. In the final process, the panels are inspected, touched up where necessary, accordingly graded, then packed and bundled for distribution. As you can see, the process of producing plywood using OPT is similar to and not different from producing plywood using hardwood logs or softwood logs. There are many uses for palm plywood and plywood in general. For exterior application, as concrete formwork plywood for the building there. For interior application, in furniture making and joinery products. The plywood industry and MTIB, with the technical collaboration of FRIM, MPOP and UPM, are engaged in a factory R&D program to achieve the required product quality for palm plywood in accordance to EN standards. The objective is to enable the Malaysian palm plywood to penetrate the international market as a sustainable and environmentally friendly product. The market prospects are expected to be enormous.
Currently, Malaysia has 5.8 million hectares of oil palm plantation. The annual available OPT is estimated at 31.5 million logs based on 230,000 hectares of replanting of all palm trees after 25 years annually. That is 22 million cubic meter per year. Under the control processing condition, OPT is a new source of material for conversion into veneer and plywood. The amount of plywood produced will be approximately 11 million cubic meter, which generated 11 billion annually. Malaysian Timber Industry Board, with the cooperation of FRIM, UPM, University Putra Malaysia, and MPOB, encourage and will promote the use of OPT for conversion into high-value downstream products such as for furniture and construction industry and also shipping and container flooring industries. All palm plywood is comparable to traditional plywood products that meets the international market. We hope this raw material will become a new raw material to work with for the industry and to use as alternative raw material for the future industry purposes.